for Wellness. Sydney Knowles with the Extension Agency is here, and I'm Robin Palmer with the Center for Health and Wellness, and we're looking for something quick, easy, healthy, and delicious, always, right?
Yes, always.
So today we're talking about beans. Beans are truly a superfood, don't you think?
I love beans.
I do too. They are loaded with fiber, they're loaded with protein, they are full of goodness. I also want to mention the Blue Zone. If you've never heard of the Blue Zone, they're fascinating areas in the world. They're kind of hot spots where clusters of people who seem to be the healthiest and live the longest. Lots of centenarians, people who live past the age of 100. And it is amazing. And there's lots of research that's been done about why they live so long. And the common denominator is beans. They eat lots of beans, lots of fruits and vegetables, about 4 times more than the average American eats. So we're finding ways to eat more beans, eat more fruits and vegetables always.
And beans are one of the fun things where they can actually fit into 2 different categories on our My Plate. So they can fit into our protein section of our My Plate, and they can also fit into that vegetable section. So you can really make it accommodate your My Plate and really hit all of those different food groups just by eating beans.
Beans, right. Non-starchy vegetable and a protein. I call it double dipping. I love to get the biggest bang for my buck.
Absolutely.
So today we are making hummus. And really it's a great substitution for a dip, or used as a dip. Usually my dips, sometimes they have like cream cheese or sour cream or mayonnaise, and this has none of that. So we use it as a dip, and what else can we use?
As a condiment. So if you're making a sandwich, this is a great thing to use as a spread. We were even just talking about on toast. You could have a piece of toast with some hummus spread on top of it.
Sometimes I add spinach and tomatoes with that hummus, and sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
It's just as delicious by itself or as a condiment on a piece of toast or as some dip. So let's get started. Literally, we are going to talk about our ingredients: beans and more beans, olive oil, lemon juice, garlic, rosemary.
Yeah.
So chickpeas are really the go-to bean for the base of this hummus. We're just going to pour it all in our food processor. Before I got a food processor, I did this in my blender. We've got lemon juice.
And these are cannellini beans.
Yeah, and you know what? Whatever white bean you have, along with the garbanzo bean or the chickpea. Today we use cannellini beans, but also great northern beans or just white beans. I'm not sure what the difference is, but I think there are about 3 different styles of white bean.
Those are the 2 that I typically buy, as northern or the cannellini.
Yeah.
And garbanzo or chickpea, you'll see it written as this in different ways. It's the same exact thing. So you might see a can that say chickpeas, you might see a can that says garbanzo beans. They're the same thing, whatever you can find in your store.
And we did rinse these. That's why I have this colander here. We did rinse them. We want to get all that salt, all that calcium chloride or whatever else they put in to keep them fresh. So I'm going to squeeze this garlic. Sydney, why don't you use this and put the lemon juice in?
Okay.
That's another little teeny colander that makes it handy not to have to worry about those seeds. Love garlic. I don't even have any other seasoning besides the garlic, and of course this rosemary that I've picked right out of my yard. If you don't have a rosemary bush, I highly encourage it because they grow like crazy. Okay, and here, you can cut this up. I thought I had some scissors somewhere, but you know what? That's all right. We're gonna process it all up. We're gonna grind it all up. The rosemary really gives it a little kick. And I'm gonna add some olive oil. I'm a terrible baker because I don't really measure, but this is probably about 1/4 cup. I would encourage you to get a nice little container with a pourer so you don't over pour. It's so easy to over pour in oil. I can always add more, but it's really hard to take it away. So let's put the top on. While Sydney's putting that together, I will mention typically hummus has tahini in it. If you didn't tune in to our chocolate chip life-changing cookies, this is the secret ingredients, which is absolutely crazy, but they are so delicious. I rarely have it on hand, and if I do, I've used it up for the cookies. And so this is a good recipe because it doesn't have tahini in it. All right, so let's go. We're gonna blend that up. Maybe we need a little more oil. I don't even have to do it. Yeah. Okay, perfect. It's pretty thick. Again, we want it as a dip or a spread. So yeah, go ahead and let's pour that out. Yeah. And I just love this because it stays in my refrigerator. Again, it is cheap, it is easy, it is healthy, and it is delicious. One other thing I want to share with you, I'm gonna, of course, if I'm eating dip, I'm looking for crackers or chips. However, I'm gonna add some crunchy sugar snaps and little cherry tomatoes and carrots to dip along with it. I try to do one and one. If I'm gonna have a cracker with a dip, then I'm gonna pick up a piece of vegetable and do the same thing. Just so, yeah. I love those little tips. This is a new chip for me. I chose it because it's just 4 simple ingredients, low in sodium, and low in sugar. No sugar added, no sodium. It's just whole grain flour, safflower oil, and basically salt, but not much salt.
It's only about 70 milligrams or 3% of your daily value, so that's extremely low,
yeah,
especially for a chip.
And you don't need a fancy chip. My go-to is Triscuits.
Same, yeah. I love Triscuits. They're high in fiber. They don't have any sugar added, and they're also low in sodium, and they're very affordable, and you can find them most places.
Yeah, anywhere.
Which is what's so great.
3 simple ingredients in Triscuits. So there you have it. Hummus with crackers, veggies. Again, it makes me feel like I'm having my cake and eating it too. I'm having the best of both. I'm having chips and dip, but it's a wholesome, healthy, delicious dip full of beans, which are going to help us live a long and healthy life the more that we eat. I do have to mention, you know, some of us chuckle sometimes when we start thinking about eating a lot of beans, but we've got a few tips to help with those uncomfortable situations.
Yeah, so a lot of times beans can cause some bloating, they can cause gas, and if you're new to eating beans, we always recommend to start slow. Don't just start off eating beans with every meal, because you will definitely be feeling it. So start slow is what we recommend, and then also some different tips in order to help break down those beans is to rinse them or soak them. So if you soak them in water, it helps to break off that. There's like an outer layer that it just helps to break down the bean more, so then it doesn't have to take your body as long to break it down.
A little softer, right. Being softer on your system.
Similar with that, heating them in the microwave or heating them up first, that can help to soften them up, break them down further. Find
a way to eat beans because they are so good for you. Again, it is a superfood. It's a protein and a non-starchy vegetable both. You get twice the goodness.